constantly circulating, and they can control the pressure with that little valve on their suits.
11. And now the crew was sitting there. They have their visor down. They're pretty much ready for launch. Now they're just in wait mode. Like you said, the suit ventilation is running and keeping them cool. It's quite comfortable when you're in this mode. Your gloves are on, so now it's a little harder to turn the pages in your book. It looks actually like Oleg is using a tablet nowadays to review his flight data file, and that makes it a little bit easier.
All right, we just got the call. The fuel lines on the spacecraft or on the rocket are being purged with nitrogen. That helps to fireproof them, remove any of the excess vapors of that fuel and oxidizer that might be in the lines. 3.5 minutes away from launch. So 3.5 minutes away from launch. What's going through your head right now if you're in that rocket?
Now you're 100% ready. You don't want to wait anymore. You want those engines to ignite. One interesting thing, the person that they're talking to, the Russian flight controller that the crew is talking to, this person has trained you for about the last year and a half. So you're great friends. You know them super well. You probably know their family, and that's a real comforting voice. So the only person you're talking to right now outside the crew is that we call it a Shestnatsy Treti. That's their call sign, and you know that person well.
All right, we are coming up on 2 minutes and 45 seconds, getting the thumbs up, the little fist bump from the crew there. Looks like they're definitely ready to go. And so at this point, the booster tanks are being pressurized for flight. This just helps to optimize the flow of all of that fuel. Also actually helps add some structural support to the rocket itself. Again, everything looking good. It's a night launch, so things are about to light up very much so there on the steppe of Baikonur in Kazakhstan. Teams only about a mile away watching the launch from NASA and Roscosmos. We are coming up on 2 minutes. Yeah, I don't know about you, but even watching here and not out there, you get excited. All right, 1 minute, 40 seconds away from launch. Everything continuing to count down. No issues with the rocket. Again, we're going to see some of those umbilical towers separate from the vehicle. When the second one separates, that means you're only 15 seconds away from liftoff. And those engines actually fire for quite a while, it seems, before you actually take off. Can you feel like that first fire, and then can you feel when you kind of leap off?
Yeah, you definitely can. It's not as aggressive as what I've heard a shuttle launch is like, but you can hear those engines start up, and then when they go up to 80%, you can feel the rumble in the rocket. I actually thought we were at liftoff at 80%, and my commander was laughing at me, and he said, no, about 2 or 3 more seconds, and then boom, you're underway, and you know it's a kick in the pants when you go.
It's like, Reed, no, we're still here. All right. 1 minute away.
1 minute prior to liftoff. Everything is nominal on board. We are ready for launch.
All right, still getting good calls. The vehicle now on internal power. There's that first umbilical separating away. Pretty soon we'll have auto sequence start. At this point, the ground propellant feed, so all the fuel flow into the rocket, has cut off. We are under 30 seconds.
Auto sequence initiated. Launch command issued for ignition.
And there you can see the engine starting to fire, ramping up. The second umbilical tower already separated. 80% and liftoff. Drew Feustel, Oleg Artemyev, and Ricky Arnold taking off on their way to the International Space Station. Getting a great view of those first stage engines as they light up the night sky. That first stage delivering over 930,000 pounds of thrust.
20 seconds into flight, engines are steady.
20 seconds so far since liftoff, getting good calls that the stages are performing nominally or normally. looking very bright here on camera. I can tell you when you see these at night, it's like looking at the sun. It almost hurts your eyes, but you can't tear your eyes away from it.
Excellent on board, and yes, we are seeing you on camera 1 screen.
50 seconds since liftoff. Everything's still nominal or normal. Soyuz rocket doing its job. All of the parameters or the data points for its trajectory looking good. Continuing to rocket across the night sky. So we're 70 seconds, over a minute and 10 seconds into the flight. The vehicle already traveling at over 1,100 miles per hour.
"90 seconds into flight."
So again, this first stage going to continue firing until just before the 2-minute mark. First, we'll hear the escape tower being jettisoned. And then following that, those strap-on boosters, those 4 liquid-fueled boosters on the first stage will be jettisoned. We should hopefully get a good view of that here on the video, as it is a very crystal clear night. View inside the cabin, the crew is still doing good. And getting confirmation from the visiting vehicle officer here in Houston, good first stage separation, and the escape tower has been jettisoned. That drops away at an altitude of about 28 statute miles, the Soyuz traveling at over 3,300 miles an hour.
First stage separation.
Thumbs up from the crew.
Copy.
All right, now we'll get this animation. You can see the core stage also serving as the second stage. And so 2 minutes, 30 seconds into flight. What's it like inside that capsule right now?
You get some good G-forces. You know, first stage was good. Right there with the launch shroud jettison, that's a very dynamic event. You can see out the windows, and you got thrust behind you. You're pushed back in your seat, and that makes you smile.
On board, and we also confirm launch shroud jettison. 180 seconds into flight.
Everything's still looking great for the rocket. Over 48 miles in altitude already.
We are seeing
traveling at a speed of about 4,700 miles per hour at that core stage. And there we go. Getting our first view of Ricky Arnold there on the right seat. All smiles, looking like. And we can see his 0G indicator just over his shoulder there. The hula girl for Soyuz call sign Hawaii.
Copy, everything is fine on board. We're feeling excellent. Also,
this core stage is about 56 feet in length, 13.5 feet in diameter, and provides between 178,000 and 222,000 pounds of thrust. That depending on where they are in the Earth's atmosphere, and that continues for